Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Nerd Chronicles. What's going down? We are your source for all things nerd related. If it makes nerds excited, if it makes geeks cream in their jeans, if it gets dorks off, it's what we want to talk about. I am the action figure junkie Sean, and as with me always is my co-host, my power man to my iron fist, the infamous.
So I'm like a huge badass black guy. I like this analogy here.
And I'm the awesome kung fu master.
All right, I'll take it.
I'm talking comic book Iron Fist, not Netflix Iron Fist.
Not that one.
Although I don't really need that giant open collar shirt from the 70s.
Or the mask.
Or the mask.
Or the yellow and green color scheme.
No. I liked the white and yellow better.
Yes, much.
The more recent times. So, dude, what's going down? Tonight we're going to talk about, you're going to tell me about a trip you took to Vegas because it was essentially what seems like a nerd's wet dream.
Yes.
Want to do some new nerd news first, and then you're going to tell me about your awesome story.
Perfect.
Where's my sound effect? Wait, I got one for you. Ready?
Well, that was way better than mine. Way better.
Hopefully we won't get sued for using it.
Man.
So, let's see. The first thing I want to talk about is, so today is Monday after Thor Ragnarok came out in theaters and apparently destroyed the box office. $500 million worldwide.
Just about.
And they say 120 domestic.
Yep.
Ass kicking.
Yep.
Love
Previous
it.
store opened to 88. This is a huge.
Oh, that's right.
Increase.
Damn.
Yeah.
What a giant jump up. That's so awesome. I'm pretty excited because as we're recording this, I'm going to go see it tomorrow.
Yes.
We were supposed to see it together with my brother, but you two can't do it. And I'm like, F that, I'm still going.
Yeah, of course. So you're solo rolling, dude.
I don't care. I'll sit all by myself and
I love every
I
second
will.
of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like sometimes there's just a lock. You just know you're going to love a movie.
Yeah.
There's just no chance you're not going to love it. Try not to set expectations.
You're going to be giddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you're going to love it.
It's going to be great. I can't wait to see it. So I'm going to go all by myself and it's cool. I'm very, very excited. So tomorrow, that's going to be my night tomorrow. Go to work. Going to drive to work in Santa Barbara. That's a commute for me.
Fun.
Come home. Go see Thor.
There you go.
Maybe even have a burger at our movie theater.
A good one too.
They are, right?
Yeah.
I like the food there.
Yes, agreed.
Excellent. There's another thing I saw in the news that I wanted to bring up because I find it interesting. John Boyega, who plays Finn in the new Star Wars series, has kind of debunked a rumor. He kind of gave away a little bit of a plot point. It's not too big a deal. It's not really much of a spoiler alert, but it's, I think, interesting because I'm kind of tired of people speculating that he's also going to be a Jedi, that the Force is strong with him, just kind of based on his kind of prowess with the lightsaber in Episode 7, Force Awakens. That didn't really ring true to me ever when I saw it. I just thought, no, Rey is the whole Force Awakens. She is the Force Awakening. She's the last Jedi. It's all about her. He's awesome though. I really liked his character, but everyone's saying, well, how come he could hold a lightsaber and kind of go toe to toe with Kylo Ren for at least a few seconds before getting taken out? And I'm like, because he was trained from birth to be a fighter. Like he was a first order trooper.
Right.
He wasn't some farmer. He wasn't a moisture farmer.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a tough guy.
Right.
So he picked up a weapon and basically threw down for a few seconds. I mean, he got his ass handed to him, but the fact that he wasn't basically cut down in, a millisecond, everyone's like, oh, he must be a Jedi too. And I'm like, no, I just think he's a trained fighter. It didn't really matter what weapon you gave him. If you put a weapon in his hand, he was probably going to be able to handle his own for at least a few seconds.
Right.
So he's basically come out and said, no, don't have the Force. I'm just awesome. And I'm like, yeah, you are. That's cool. Because, in the stories, like look at the original trilogy, you got Han Solo. He does his own thing.
Right.
He's a hero in one way. That's amateur.
Oh man!
Everyone knows.
The ringer on.
Did you hear my ringtone? Everyone says it sounds like.
Just double check that mine's off too.
Yeah.
All right, good. Mine was off.
Oh, here's the great thing about my iPhone. I should probably turn it off, but I need it for the news stories. I can't turn the ringer off or on, like it's jacked up. Like I turn it off, it's off right now, but you'll still hear it. And even if it's on, you might not hear it. So it's totally backwards. It's a fucking phone. I can't wait.
Wonderful feature about the iPhone.
Yeah. I'm really making a case. Are you in your, what is that? A Samsung or an Android? What is that?
It's Android. It is an Alcatel.
Yeah. So I'm totally making a case for you right now.
Yeah. I love it.
So
I would never use an iPhone again.
I don't blame you. So like, in the original Star Wars, everybody had their own kind of thing, right? Luke Skywalker was the only Jedi coming up.
Right, yeah. Leia came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, she had Force abilities in her blood, but she was no Jedi.
Right.
He's no Jedi. So we'd only need one Jedi per trilogy, really. Mm-hmm. So I think it's kind of awesome that he came out and said it isn't happening. The last story I want to bring up.
He also referred to Rey as the princess.
He did?
That was the other big article, the big leak of the week, is that he's
called
her the princess, and so now everyone's freaking out.
What does that mean? That can be interpreted a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what? I'm not really one to get to the speculating. I just want to see the movie. You're much better at that than I am. I know you have a theory we discussed.
Yes.
I don't want to speculate. I just want to let it be. And we're going to be seeing the movie soon enough anyway, as it is.
Yeah.
Not soon enough. I take it back.
Just shy of over a month.
Oh, my sweet Jesus. And the tickets, I think, have already been on sale for over a month.
It's going to be donkulous, dude.
I know. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So last news topic I want to bring up because it gets me excited.
Jeez.
So I read today about Tom Hardy's training for Venom.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm very when it comes to this movie, I have big reservations. I'm very confused. I don't understand a standalone Venom outside of the Spider-Man universe. It doesn't equate. Venom only exists because of Spider-Man. I have to see the movie. I'm very confused as to how this exists. This is as if I would say this is like a Joker movie without Batman, but that would be as if the Batman actually made Joker.
Right.
If you know anything about the story of Venom from the comic books, without Spider-Man, he does not exist.
Right.
They do not. It's neither is mutually exclusive. That would not happen.
But so you don't think they're going to use Spider-Man in the Venom movie at all?
Well, if you do, then why not just have Venom be the villain of a Spider-Man movie? I'm confused. I mean, I don't think it's going to be bad. I feel like I need to see it to understand it. And maybe I'm not able to wrap my head around it.
Okay.
So it's like, why are you making a standalone movie about a villain whose sole purpose, whose sole existence, whose sole focus in life is killing Spider-Man? Literally eating his goddamn head. You have no Spider-Man. I'm a little confused as to what his motivation is, let alone his creation.
And what are they going to make him an anti-hero like Deadpool?
So that's kind of how he evolved in the comics.
Oh, okay.
But I would much rather see a really cool representation of Venom, not a Topher Grace Venom, but a really cool representation of Venom go up against Spider-Man. But you know what? It doesn't really matter because Tom Hardy's in it. Oh, Tom Hardy.
It's huge. And it's going to be gigantic. Imagine Tom Hardy bigger than when he was as Bane.
I know.
Because he got that role last minute, and this Venom is being built around him. So
yeah.
He's going to be the best training regimen ever invented, probably.
He's been doing boxing, MMA training 5 days a week. Probably eating like a cow a day.
Whole thing.
Yeah. This is the whole thing. The hide, the head, just eating it like Venom would eat it.
Yeah. With cow gut shakes in between.
He's so manly. I swear, dude. He's like, everyone has, what'd you call it? The list? What'd you have a term
hall
for
pass.
The hall pass list?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's on mine because I'm all man and I'm hetero as far as you know. but if you had to have one man, yeah, if you have to have one man on the list, it's okay. I give you a pass for Tom Hardy. And if he was on my wife's list, I wouldn't hate on that at all.
No, absolutely not. If Ryan Gosling came in and ran a train on my wife, I would be so excited.
I think, yeah, your wife and my wife, I think, have the same, and the Ryan Gosling is at the top of their list.
Yeah.
But I feel like Tom Hardy would make Ryan Gosling his bitch. And I like Ryan Gosling a lot. Like, he's awesome. But, come on, man, it's Tom Hardy. Imagine a movie where they go up against each other. Oh.
I was actually just trying to think if they'd ever been in a movie together.
I don't know if my penis or my brain could handle that.
Yeah, it'd be a lot.
It'd be a lot to handle, right?
Yeah.
So,
wait, you skipped over another huge piece of news.
What do you got? What?
Is that, so a big rumor swirling is that Disney is going to be buying the Marvel arm of 20th Century Fox, which means all of the X-Men characters and the Fantastic Four may finally appear in the MCU, which is absolutely mind-blowing.
See, to me, that's news that's so big. I honestly I don't even want to think about it until it could happen, because that
means that Galactus could be the villain after Thanos, and there's a legitimate reason to have another phase. Oh my gosh.
I'm literally getting speechless, and that's terrible pod. It's terrible radio, but my nerd soul can barely even comprehend that. Like I don't even want to think about it until I hear the news that it's actually going to happen.
As Deadpool sharing a scene with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
It doesn't get better than that. As far, no joke. I'm not using hyperbole. Like, that's, to me, that doesn't get better than that. Like that, like that's like Goodfellas-esque level comic book movie. Like, no way.
And if anyone on the planet could ever get Hugh Jackman to strap on the claws one more time to be in a movie with Ryan Reynolds, it's Disney money.
Yeah.
You know, Disney's got the money and motivation to do it.
Yeah.
And could you imagine getting to finally see them on screen proper? Or
even, can you imagine and this would probably be years down the road after at least, we're in phase 3 or 4. I'm sorry, I get confused. What phase are we?
We're in 3.
We're in 3 right now. So this would probably be a few phases down the road. But can you imagine an X-Men versus Avengers? Did you happen to? I know you're not crazy about comic books, but did you know that a few years ago that was a very, very big storyline in Marvel Comics, and it was really cool? X-Men versus Avengers.
Who won?
It's debatable. It wasn't really like one clear cut winner, and they would have offshoots of Colossus using the Juggernaut powers fighting Red Hulk. Like, it was bananas, dude. So
what?
I mean, honestly, you got Civil War in the movies. I didn't think you'd ever see Civil War.
Yeah.
In any incarnation. I mean, granted, it was a much smaller scale, but you can't do as big as it was in the comic books.
Right.
But if you can do Civil War on the screen, man, if you get those two properties together, I don't see why you can't do A versus X. Oh my God. No, I think I'd have to kill myself after the movie came out, because it just doesn't get any better in life. I'd have to die.
What version of on-screen X-Men would you want? The first class or the OG ones?
See, I mean, you have to think about it. Like, let's say best case scenario, this actually happens.
Okay.
That movie's probably like what? Sheesh. Like, in reality, probably like 6 years away, right?
At least.
Yeah, I mean, let's be realistic. It's not like something's going to happen overnight.
Mm.
So, honestly, the heroes in it, it's really up for grabs. You can kind of put anybody in it.
So you think they'd recast?
I would love to see the heroes that were in Age of Apocalypse. Your 80s, 90s era Jim Lee inspired Cyclops, Jean Grey, right. Nightcrawler. Like, that's, the core fan favorites of the X-Men. And of course, throw in some new ones, get some new blood, you can maybe figure out a way to cherry pick the coolest characters from any X-Men film, except for Halle Berry. We're done with her. Leave her out. I'm done. Pass. Goodbye. Yeah. Hard pass. Hard pass on that. Yeah. But find a way to get guys from either trilogy, either series in it, and then use Avengers that are currently in the movies now, or who knows where the Avengers team will be in the MCU in 6 years.
That's true.
It can't stay the same, obviously.
Yeah.
We'd love it to, but we also don't want it. I mean, if you look at the Avengers team that started off in the 60s, and then what it was in the 70s, and then what it was in the 80s, it never stayed the same. It's a continuing revolving door of the roster changing. You know, you got to freshen up the stories. I mean, friggin', what's his name? Dr. Druid was an Avenger. I mean, how desperate are you? I don't.
Wasn't Wolverine an Avenger?
Oh yeah, more recent times. And those are the Avengers books that I've really enjoyed the last 10 or so years with, you know, the Brian Michael Bendis written Wolverine being a big part of the Avengers. I really loved Wolverine as an Avenger is awesome, dude. It is pretty awesome because he doesn't have a lot of the soap opera-ish drama bullshit that he has on the X-Men with you know, the whole love triangles and weapon. It's just Wolverine being a weapon of awesome destruction and being a kick-ass Avenger. So I said I don't like to speculate, but man, you can only dream so big, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your imagination is only limited by you, and I can imagine a great movie with all of those problems.
Even if it's like our kids' kids and we're grandparents.
Yeah.
If only someday we get to see Justice League versus Avengers on screen.
Dude.
Oh my God.
Justice League? You mean the Justice League versus the Avengers?
Yes.
Man, I don't know. I don't know about that. That seems
Wouldn't that be great?
That seems like a miracle would have to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that would ever happen, but it's funny because, you know, so I'm in my early 40s. You're in your mid to late 30s. Mid.
Yeah, early to mid. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm adding 2 years. You're 34, right?
33.
Oh, you're not even. Oh, you're gonna be 34 in a few days.
Yes, I am.
That's right. Maybe by the time people be listening to this, you'll be 34.
Maybe
You'll have had a birthday.
Good man.
But that is early. That is early 30s.
Yes.
So when people say to you, "Do you think you're still gonna like this stuff when you're 50, 60?" It's like, bitch, if I have a pulse, if I'm above ground, I guarantee it. I will still love this. What do you think I've been into it for 42 years. You think I'm going to stop? What's going to change? I'm a grown ass adult who has a career and a child and a wife, and I take care of my kid and my wife. It's not like I sit in my garage and have Avengers on loop and just play with my action figures, but there's no reason. They said, when are you going to grow up?
Yeah,
I am grown up.
Everyone has their thing that they cling to from their childhood. Everybody. Whether they're willing to say it out loud or not.
Yeah.
The cool thing about being a nerd is most nerds are willing to say it out loud.
You're goddamn right.
So it's like...
Say it loud. I'm nerded, I'm proud.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about this community, though, is that... And then what we've been given by... Kind of like by the start, really back to X-Men, the original one, is like we've been given... Kind of the nerds kind of got the come up in the 2000s by like because superhero movies were cool.
Yeah,
like superhero costumes were cool again.
Yep.
Whereas like all these things that got everyone in the 80s beat up.
Yeah.
You know, now boom, they're super cool again.
Yep.
They're not nerdy. They're whatever stupid hip. They're fucking nostalgic or retro. You know, whatever words you want to use, but it's never nerdy anymore.
No, I think you may have hit on something because I'm kind of trying to go back in time. At what point I really let my nerd out of the closet. Because I'm not going to lie to you. It was in the closet for a good few years. I'm not ashamed to say it. I mean, you have to do what you have to do to get through life. Now, as a kid, so I think the difference between really being a nerd in your 40s and being a nerd when you're 10 is I wouldn't categorize myself as a nerd at 10. I liked the things that 10-year-olds liked. I loved Transformers. I loved G.I. Joe. I loved giant fighting robots. I loved comic books and X-Men and Spider-Man and Wonder Woman television show because Linda Carter was hot as balls fire. But that's a side note. I just liked what you're supposed to like at that age. Mm. Now, if you like that at 42, they classify you as a nerd.
Right.
The thing is I never stopped liking that stuff as I went from 10 to 15 to 20 to 25. The thing is at about 15, it started to become not cool. Now, I hid it. I literally hid it in the closet. Like, I kept my toys in the goddamn closet so when my friends would come over, they wouldn't see them. I would bust them out and play with my G.I. Joe action figures. I let a lot of stuff go. I kind of sold stuff off or got rid of it. But there was one thing I could not get rid of, and that was my 3 3/4 inch action figures. That's what really kept me in the nerd world. I wasn't like a antisocial geek who had, pimples and was fat and played Dungeons and Dragons instead of hanging out with his friends. Right. I had what I would call a normal life growing up with, aside from being bullied by jocks, because I was not one, but I wasn't like someone you would point to on the street and be like, that's a nerd, like a stereotype out of a movie, like Revenge of the Nerds. That's not really, that's not how my life was. I kept all that stuff quiet. I would watch nerdy things on the side. I wouldn't really go around talking about it to other people because I was afraid of how I'd be perceived. Mm-hmm. I wish I didn't care what other people thought. I wish I could kind of go back in time and tell my younger self, be into what you're into. Don't give a shit what other people think. In fact, get way into it because you kind of just, I would mostly put my big toe into that world and I'd pull it back out every time I thought someone might find out. Man, I wish I could go back and tell myself.
But that's one of the cool things, like if you look at shows like Stranger Things, how they make kids like that cool now, It's kind of cool that they're giving that power back.
Well, I was just, I just happened to catch the first episode of the new season. And I was just like, I can't wait. That's all I've seen. But I tell you some interesting things I saw from that. What was cool for those kids is they had each other. I mean, those 4 kids were 4 nerds, let's be honest. Yeah. You would classify those as nerds. Those guys are Dungeons and Dragons loving, comic book. They're dressing up as Ghostbusters. Like, those kids are nerds. And kids like that, because I'm right around their age. Maybe a little younger. So in 84, I was 9, and they're about 13 or 12. So they're a few years older than me. Okay. But still, man, you would have called those kids dorks. But you know what? They had each other. And who gives a shit, man? I wish I had 4, or as it were, 3 close, tight friends. Because, man, if you have 3 great, cool friends in elementary and junior high, man, I tell you, be into whatever the F you're into. Be into every goddamn nerdy thing because you got your 3 buddies along with you to be into it with you. Right. And there's nothing I want to instill in my daughter as much as if you want to have a tight group of close friends, I got to tell you, man, that's much better in all of your life than being casually acquainted with 100 people. Right. Because that's how I went through school, casually acquainted with hundreds of people. I remember I got a girl I was dating when I was a senior in high school. And she was not cool. She was outwardly nerdy. But I thought she was attractive, so I didn't give a shit. Mm-hmm. We would walk down the hall, and 100 people would say hi to me from class to class. And she was like, God, you're popular. You know a lot of people. And I kind of stopped, and I turned to her, and I said, yeah, I know a lot of people, but none of them know me. Do you think any of them want to know what I'm doing on Friday night? Not a goddamn one of them. Nobody cares. They know me. They know my face. They don't know anything about me. You might know me. You and I can talk about Bruce Lee and Jet Li and who's better. I can't talk about that with any of these people. That's why I like you. And she was like, wow, that's okay.
I know. Was she like, what?
You know what? Dude, funny you should mention. She was the first one to do that to me.
No way, really?
I'll never forget that. You never forget your first big gulp, right?
Yeah, no, I don't.
I hope he treated you good.
It was definitely a wonderful experience.
Yeah. It never stops being a wonderful experience.
No. But, I would like to segue off of your great, I feel like it's...
I know, I went on a tirade. I'm sorry.
No, I think it's a perfect launching pad because we're talking about being your outwardly nerd self. So this last weekend, I took my dad to Las Vegas to this car convention out there called SEMA.
What kind? SEMA?
Yeah.
What kind of cars are there? What kind of all kinds, right?
Yeah, from the first car ever made to a car that's not even out yet.
Oh, so everything. Literally everything. Now, is your dad a big car guy?
Yeah, and it's a sales expo basically. So these cars are each car hundreds of thousands of dollars are spent on it to get it ready for the show.
Wow. So now, are these cars on like you see in the movies or on television shows, like on giant turntables? Did you see a car and a turntable?
Mirrors underneath.
Oh my god, it's so cool! You saw a car and a turntable.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Boats literally hanging from the ceiling, so you could look at the motor.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
What kind of a weight distribution? Like, well, how do you hang a boat from the ceiling?
It's just ridiculous, and there were multiple ones.
Wow.
So crazy.
So
tires the size of your fucking body.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So what did your dad think?
Yeah, so my dad loved it, but like a little surprise I had for him was I knew this place called the Pinball Hall of Fame out there. It's an actual registered museum in the United States, and it is the largest pinball collective. And my dad's a huge pinball fan. His first job was working on pinball machines, so we went over there.
Really?
And he's tripping balls. He's going crazy. They have pinball machines dating back to the 1900s.
Whoa. Can you play them or just look at them?
No, play them.
Shut up.
Everything in there is active. And so the last 2 rows of this place are all OG coin-op arcade games. Being able to play Super Mario Brothers on the arcade, Centipede, Mrs. Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Asteroid, Chunk. They had.
I'm actually starting to tear up right now. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm kind of crying.
They had this machine. It was a video game machine, and you look into it, and it was like a tube.
Yeah.
And it was like a black light inside, and there were these plastic cars on a rotating belt, and then you had a holographic car that you had to move back and forth across them.
Whoa.
Made in like 1971.
What?
Yep. They had original Pong tables to play. They had
the tabletop Pong?
Tabletop Pong.
Really?
They had...
There's not many of them left in the world.
They had one of the original 10 Tetris machines.
Really? What?
Yeah.
So were the colors still vibrant? Like, you know how sometimes the games wear over time?
This is the cool thing. The reason why they're registered as a museum is because they restore to as close to new as possible.
Wow.
And they'll tell you some of the parts are compromised, like on some of the pinball machines.
Yeah.
The displays that aren't even manufactured anymore, so now they have an LED display.
Yeah.
But it's like stuff that's unavoidable, but in every way possible. And so the big, huge highlight for my dad is they had this machine there. It was made by Midway in the 1990s. It was a vertical pinball machine. They spent $1.5 million manufacturing this thing. It was called a Pinball Circus. And they only made 2 of them. And they put them in a test run and they didn't do well. So they went home with some big wig executives at Midway. And then years and years and years go by. And they find Midway, 2 new employees at Midway find out about this museum. And they donate the very last one to this museum. So this is like the holy grail of, like, if you were somebody that was an alien hunter, this would be the equivalent of being able to touch an alien. It's the holy grail of the pinball world because there's only one of them now. Wow. And so the way that it works is the pinball actually goes up through a whole arcade cabinet, like if you were playing an arcade game.
What's the ball made of?
It's made out of steel still. Steel still.
That's the reason I ask is the balls are so heavy. It's like when you hit with the flippers.
Yeah, it was.
How did it even go up?
It was so crazy. I mean,
it sounds. Oh, he's showing me a picture right now on his phone.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, so it's not. Yeah, okay. Oh, wow. So it's not like, and it's all. It's not only is it vertical, but it's also it looks multi-layered. Like it's not just flat. The ball's going through all kinds of like literally will look like mousetrap type things.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Your dad, I can only see the side of his face, but he has an intense look that looks like how I would feel right now. Like if I was, I'm so jealous of you and your dad right now to go to this place. I love pinball.
This isn't even the best part. This is the least best part.
Wait, what? You just described a room full of 80s video games, and that's not the best part? So
we go outside, and the shopping center that this place is built in, the shopping center is called Nergazm. The very first building is a store called Nergazm. You go in. It's a 2-facility store. The first store you go in is all action figures and costumes. And the action figures, I sent you pictures of them, Junkie.
I never got them.
These are replica original G.I. Joes Batmans.
The old school, the 12-inch ones?
Go ahead,
from back in the day?
Slide away. So right now, Sean is looking at G.I. Joe action figures.
You're going to have to take
and
over.
The look on his face is what I imagine was the first time he saw tits. He looks...
It's just...
like someone just told him someone in his family died.
Dude, there's just racks and racks of action figures. It's just racks. Full racks. They're not empty. They're like 5, 6, 10 deep. G.I. Joes. Oh my God. You can just buy these? These aren't like...
No, buy them right there.
Oh my God. Oh, there's Star Trek ones from back in the day. Flash Gordon, Back to the Future. Okay, so I just had a mini nerd orgasm. I hope you have paper towels.
All right. So this is the action figure side. I told you it was a two-sided place.
Hey, do you happen to remember, this is a side note, I don't know if the audience is going to care. Do you happen to remember what the prices were on those?
$22.
Each?
Yes. $22 each. So turn it around from those action figures.
Yeah.
You get to see this. And I would invite you to zoom in to see exactly what it is you're looking at.
All right.
I'm handing Junkie my phone.
So this is a store.
This is the other side of the same store.
It just
this is called Nerdgazm.
He's showing me a picture of basically the walking through the door. This is what you see, and it's basically a person like me, or hopefully if you're into the show, you'd literally kind of just stop in your tracks, and maybe your brain would get a little bit overload from sensory overload.
They have a signed by Stan Lee 9 rated original Amazing Spider-Man.
Where's that?
It's behind the counter on the right. You have all of the Rob Liefeld Deadpool signed.
Oh. God.
You just saw the comics that are on.
It's up on the wall. This store is basically everything that I love in life.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Now,
it sounds like, I hope this isn't a terrible podcast. Sorry, people. If you want to know why I'm freaking out so much, tell them our website. So
go on our Instagram. I'm going to post all these for you guys.
Oh, cool. Yeah, check out our Instagram.
Big Vegas trip.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Now the next store in this shopping center,
I'm going to cry,
is called Gamer's Paradise.
Oh.
And you walk in, and the first thing you will notice is they have a console museum. Complete with a manufacturing history, original sale price, and my total units sold for every handheld and plug-in video game system ever made.
Oh, wow. There's ones here I've never even seen.
Then you can grab games for those and play whatever you want.
What, right there?
Right there.
You can play?
Play whatever you want.
For how long? Before they kick you out?
I mean,
within reason.
We were just chilling for like 10 minutes.
I mean, could you get an N64 and play Mario Kart right there?
And here's the best part.
You didn't answer my question.
Yes, right there on the spot.
Are you kidding me?
No. And you can take in any video game systems and they repair them to like new.
I could have repaired my Nintendo. My life could be different right now.
And this is my favorite part. They sell
what?
Nintendo boxes. What is a Nintendo box, you ask?
The original NES?
It is a $200 video game system.
Oh, wait, what?
That has, in glorious high definition, every single NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Virtual Boy game ever made.
For $200.
For $200. And the next batch...
How is that
we'll have PlayStation, Nintendo 64, original Xbox, PlayStation 2, and Dreamcast. You should have banged your chest when you hear that, bro.
No, if I wasn't sitting down right now, I think I'd fall down. I'm getting a little lightheaded. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm actually feeling a little dizzy when you're telling me this.
The last store...
Wait, you're not done?
There's one more.
Wait, so if wait, slow down. I can only handle so much. Let's say I have $200 on me right now. I'm in Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I get to buy a system that has every game the SNES
After we are
and
done
the original
talking,
NES had.
I will show it to you, and your mind can blow in real life.
What do you mean, show it to me?
Yes.
What do you mean, show it to me?
I mean, it's plugged into my TV right now. You can play with it.
You bought it?
Yes, I bought it. Of course, I bought it. I called you and you asked if you wanted one, but you were too busy barbecuing.
Barbecuing?
Yeah, I called you on.
I was barbecuing. And
play date night. Remember?
Yeah.
You're like, I can't hear you, bro. And I was like, oh, I just bought a new system. I was going to see if you want one. I'll talk to you about it when I get back. I was a good friend.
Yeah. I gotta go outside. Can we take a break? I gotta go punch myself in my own dick.
And the last store in this mall is a
Yes. Oh God.
20 by 20 coin operated arcade.
What do you mean 20 by 20?
It is a 20 foot by 20 foot large coin operated by arcade with a role playing studio next door to it.
What?
For role playing games.
Wait, so there's an arcade?
Yes.
20 feet by 20 feet?
Yeah, roughly.
What kind of
like a 5-row arcade.
So how many games did it have?
25, 30?
Oh, with 25 or 30 arcade games?
Yes. And that's in addition to the pinball place next door, remember?
What arcade games did you see there, Infamous?
I honestly wasn't paying attention. I was buying my Super Nintendo thing.
Okay. That's understandable. That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Sort of.
So, and I called like 3 times and I remembered where you were. Because like everywhere I was like, Dad, hang on, I got to call Sean. And I'm taking pictures and I'm trying to snap you. And I was like, I want to share this moment with you. But share it with you, I could not.
So, like I said at the top of this podcast, there's something wrong with my phone now where I frequently will not hear phone calls and texts. They don't come through. Even if the phone is not on vibrate, if the phone is on whatever that fucking setting is where you're supposed to hear it,
yeah.
Frequently it will make no noise. I will periodically look at my phone and be like, you have 8 texts and 3 missed calls. The fucking thing has been sitting right next to me, literally up my ass, and I don't even hear it or feel it because it's not making any goddamn noise, so that sucks.
You're welcome for that free advertisement, Samsung. You are welcome.
Yeah, F you, iPhone, right about now. So I could have known about these things.
You could have had one. You could have been playing it already when we could have talked about how awesome it was by now. But do you understand now why it's so impervious for us to go to Vegas?
Yeah, I do now.
You must experience this.
I do now.
I think it's what I'm going to make you do it for me for my birthday. Is come with me.
You should tie me up and force me. Then I can always tell Mrs. Junkie I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, Todd was the driver.
Yeah, he's complicit.
Yeah, we can't not bring him. Now that we know that he's a big closet nerd too. How are we looking on time? Did we go way over?
No, we're sorry. Can we edit this out?
What happened?
I don't know. I just was looking at the screen and it kind of froze up and I didn't understand the numbers because they were not in any kind of order that makes sense to my brain. I thought that the whole show was frozen.
Oh, so where are we at?
We're at 38 minutes.
Perfect. You got anything else?
I would like to make it longer, but I also really want to go play Mortal Kombat or something. So
that was a good episode. Nerdgazm. Google it, everyone, immediately.
Yeah, Nerdgazm.
Go to our Instagram and check out the pictures.
Yeah, post them.
All right.
Hopefully they'll get more likes than my picture of Luke Skywalker Christmas ornament.
Let's go play our game.
Woohoo! Thanks for joining us, everybody. Bye.